Please rewind this cassette.
All right, so I don't know if you guys saw that Mufasa trailer. I saw it recently. I've already forgotten it. Are you taking a shit? What?
I moved my mic.
Oh. Okay, but anyway, Barry Jenkins, the director of Moonlight, some other shit. I can't remember the other movies he made and some TV shows he did. He was supposed to be like this big hot director, and now I don't want to say he's irrelevant, but his career didn't take off very well after Moonlight, I would say. Mostly because I would say Moonlight is a very overrated and not very good film, but that's just me. But he's working on the prequel to Jon Favreau's masterpiece, The Lion King, which, as you know, was not an animated film, but was actually filmed in live action, according to Jon Favreau. So
they got a lion to mimic James Earl Jones.
Yeah, crazy. No, it's crazy. They had to teach the lion how to act. I couldn't believe it. And it sounded like an old James Earl Jones, too. So, he's making the prequel called Mufasa, which, of course, the prequel is Mufasa. And the criticism came about that on Twitter, people were saying that the trailer was very soulless, and they were saying, Barry, dear God, why are you working for Bob Iger in this soulless company? For which Barry Jenkins responded, and I thought, okay, this is an intelligent man. I've seen his episode of The Criterion Closet. I think I know him well. And he just says, there's nothing soulless about The Lion King. It inspired people all over the world. He basically gave a spiel about how the original film is transcended and taught us empathy, and it teaches kids Shakespeare. And what I would respond to, I would say, I agree with you. There is nothing soulless about the 94 animated film The Lion King. However, and Barry knows this, that's not what the person was saying. There is something very soulless about the 2019 Lion King movie, which, if you noticed, everyone's already moved on and forgotten about. Nobody talks about that movie anymore.
It was a paycheck even for Jon Favreau.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you could tell in the press interviews, he's like, I got to come up with some bullshit to say.
I gotta come up with some bullshit so I can go do Star Wars.
Yeah. He's sitting there like, fuck. Like, oh, I always loved The Lion King. I always had a take on it. And my take was to add 30 minutes. Make it look like a nature documentary without... I did see in the trailer they added like more facial expression to the lions this time. They don't look like literal lions that have no emotions.
At least they took that critique.
Which, if you remember, was one of the most jarring things about that film, was that they just looked like animals and then their lips would move and you didn't feel anything.
It was like a high budget $100 million Air Bud movie.
That's a good way of putting it. Yes, it was like a worse version of Babe, or Babe, Big Pig in the City, the underrated sequel by George Miller.
We were just talking about George Miller.
Yeah, George Miller's finest work. If you haven't seen Babe Pig in the City, you're missing the fuck out. The part where the little goldfish almost dies and the chimpanzee or whatever saves it and puts it back in the fishing bowl, or the orangutan. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's like a Jean-Pierre Jeunet film.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not even kidding. Babe Pig in the City rules. But the question I ask existentially, because we're all serious here, this idea that these art house directors or studio directors, they go to a studio movie and then their fans are like, hey, dude, you're kind of, we don't want to say you're selling out, but why are you going to work for these companies? Because you kind of make movies or present yourself as somebody who's commenting against things like this. Capitalism, hierarchies, people in power, authentic stories not being told, it just being corporate cash grabs. And the fact Barry Jenkins took like umbrage with this, you know, because I think he could have come aboard and said, hey, I understand what you guys mean. But to take the angle of like, hey, man, the original Lion King, and I don't know if this film will be good or bad. I'm not going to judge it, obviously, even though I think it will be bad. But I guess the question is, what is a soul in a movie? And two, how much criticism do these filmmakers... Like, I feel like there's going to be a moment here where you're going to get shit if you go to work for Disney. I don't think it'll be, like, accepted anymore by the people that used to give it a pass. Like Chloe Zhou winning an Oscar and then going to do Eternals. And everyone being like, well, shit, it's her. This is going to work out. It didn't. And I just think we're getting this weird place now where it's like the A24 directors now making the studio films. Before, there might have been a level of hype, like, oh man, Barry Jenkins is doing this. And now everyone's just immediately, I don't remember this the last decade. It's like immediately, as soon as the Disney project is announced now, no matter what it is, everybody starts jumping on it and saying it's going to be bad before it even comes out. And that was not the reputation of this company even a few years ago.
You know what's weird? You asked the question of the soul, and I'll say maybe part of the reason maybe why it seems soulless is that it seems like they're trying to make every director who attaches themselves to a live action, not live action movie like this, they're trying to turn them into their version of James Cameron. That's kind of what Jon Favreau was, but he's not working on this. And so this A24 guy who knows nothing about animation or CGI is coming to work on this movie, which, I'm sure there's probably like 3 other directors who are attached to it who are going to be like second unit directors or something. That's probably what they're going to be called, or animation directors. And they're the ones actually animating the movie and deciding a lot of shots, especially during action sequences.
I think that's
You
a
get
good
what I mean?
point. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, because he has no experience in this whatsoever. He has no background in like special effects. He's made predominantly like low budget features, and they've almost all been movies about race, from what I know. I don't think he's made any film. So I'm assuming that this is going to be about race on some level, with the lions being black people.
Oh, yeah, that's ironic. They cast a Jewish man as a pig again.
One of my issues with The Lion King is it's supposed to be a prequel, but they shoved in Timon and Pumbaa, and it's like kind of like present day, and then they flash back to Mufasa.
Oh God! So he's going to be like telling his story.
Yeah, basically, it's like I think Simba telling Mufasa's story.
That's true.
Oh my God! Of course it is. Yeah, it's like that announcement recently where they said there's only going to be like 2 MCU movies and shows a year, not 4. And I'm like, how about 0?
Yeah,
that's an option, Bob.
Also, the art direction. Does anybody remember 2001 Dinosaurs?
Of
I think
course.
is the film.
Saw it in the theater.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we all know how that went.
Yeah. I was in the theater and saw that shit. I remember.
That's so out of pocket. That shows your age, Destroyer. I just want to say that.
Yeah, you old fuck. He was 30 when that came out. By himself in the theater.
He's like Plinkett. He was like 9 years old when the Titanic sunk.
Yeah, he wasn't even a kid or anything. He was just by himself in the theater watching the dinosaurs. Like, the dinosaurs talk? What's that little baby from the TV show gonna come up? Not the mama. I have a doll of that. I have a little doll of the baby from the dinosaur show.
Is it right next to your Jar Jar lamp?
No, it's not next to my Jar Jar. I lost the Jar Jar, and then I went and visited my sister not too long ago, and my nephew had the Jar Jar in his room.
Oh my God.
It blew my fucking mind.
You took it from him, right?
No, I asked him, I go, where'd you get that? And it was like, oh, I won't say my sister's name, but she had it, I guess, when I moved at some point. I don't know, because I didn't know what happened to it. I was like, what happened to that Jar Jar I used to keep at the end of my bed? And I went and it was there. I found it. I was like, I found you. He still had that smile. He's like, Misa missed you. I gave him a little kiss.
It's like
I looked at my
your
nephew,
sister.
Get out of here.
It's like your sister went over to a chest and like took out the lamp and says, your brother or your uncle wanted you to have this when you.
Yeah. He wanted you to pass this down. Yeah, because I don't even think he knows who the fuck Jar Jar is. Like, he's like a Jurassic World kid. He likes, and he's into dinosaurs and stuff, and he just had the Jar Jar in his room, and I'm like, oh, Jar Jar, Phantom Menace. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, oh.
I just have it.
Yeah, and that to me is Mufasa, it's something being passed down very soullessly, I guess, is what I would say. To tie this all back. Misa not like this trailer. Misa very upset.
You tied that back around very well.
Misa find this very soulless. Misa think back to 99 with Jar Jar in movie and why he have no soul. And that's what I mean. This starts with George, as most terrible things do. And,
Stop. At some point, we got to stop
we have to
blaming
blame
him for
the
everything.
creator, okay? If it's not God's fault, then who is it? And I'm just saying. If you think to trace back to this whole idea of like create a soulless creature and then imply humanity or imply that it's a revolutionary and it's an artistic thing that's expressive, right? It starts with a lot of this starts with fucking Jar Jar, okay?
Oh.
And that's where we are now with fucking Mufasa. So when I saw that thing, I just
Misa stay.
sneaky boo boo. Can't wait for Mufasa to step in shit and be like, "No, Simba, we don't do that." Oh, and Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. Fuck you. Okay. So
Is he even in this movie? Here, let me go check the
I'm
credits.
sure.
I thought he retired.
Yeah, but John Williams has retired like 20 times.
Oh, that's
Like,
true.
Rise of Skywalker will be his last official score. Indiana Jones will be his last official score. It's like, okay. I've been waiting for that last John Williams score now since I was a child. Not that I want John Williams to stop making music. I just wish he'd stop doing shit for Star Wars and Disney movies. And
Wait, whoa, time out now. Mads Mikkelsen is in this. I might actually see this now.
What, Indiana Jones?
No, in the
Oh, okay.
Mufasa.
Although that would have been fantastic. Mad Mikkelsen.
He wasn't Indiana Jones.
He wasn't the new Indiana Jones?
Yes, he was the Nazi bad guy.
Of course he was. All right, yeah. It's like he's the guy. You need a bad guy. You're like, fuck, we got to get Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
He's the only option.
He does it too well, man.
It's like if you got to cast someone like me in a movie, you have to cast Ryan Gosling. Like, you don't have many options. Like, I'll take Jake, but it's got to be Goose.
Donald Glover's in it, of course.
Right.
Seth Rogen.
Who's Mufasa?
Aaron Pierre, I think. That's what it looks like.
Who the fuck
I
is
could be
Aaron
wrong.
Pierre?
I don't know. Little kid, maybe. I don't know.
You got Beyonce as Nala.
Yeah, remember they hyped that up? They're like, oh my god, Beyonce and Donald Glover, and then they're just in the movie like, hello, Simba. My name is Nala. Oh, hello, I am Simba. Like, that's their voice acting.
Do you remember when ScarJo played that snake in Jungle Book?
I do, of course.
Oh, that was so sexy.
I go into my head many times.
She could strangle me any day.
I could see one scenario where the movie does good. Jay-Z gets arrested like the day.
Oh, right. Oh, no, we got Diddy to do a voice on this. It's Kendrick and Drake dissing each other as lions. I hate the way that you prowl. I hate your fucking... But, obviously Kendrick is Scar. Let's just get that out of the way. There's no way around it. I don't know, but this whole idea, like him saying that it's so... Like, I don't know what the point I'm trying to... I just feel like I don't like these... It's like where modern film discussion's getting, I guess is what I'm saying, and I don't like this attitude of like... Okay, dude, you have to acknowledge the fact that that previous Lion King movie and where Disney is at as a company is not good right now. And you have to give me some reinforcement or some backup. I remember Colin Trevorrow gave a wonderful answer years ago when he was asked about Jurassic World, which, by the way, is a movie I don't think is very good. But at the time, I liked Colin Trevorrow. He made that movie Safety Not Guaranteed, which I thought was very good. So I figured, okay, maybe he can make a film. And I remember seeing an interview with him, and he talked about that scene where the kid's on the phone texting and he's not paying attention to the dinosaurs. And he said, I wanted that to be a metaphor for the audience. And he said, we've seen dinosaurs before. You know, you've seen Jurassic Park. What makes you interested in the movie? And he said, and I can't remember what he said, but he had like a punchline to the interview or something like, we'll come see it and find out or something like that. Now he phrased it and you're like, man, that's a way to sell this. He's like, no, man, I know that's what you're thinking. I got something ready. And then you go and it's a remake of Jurassic Park.
He got me there though.
Yeah, he tricked me. But I think I don't know. It's just it's always there's like a cynicism I'm trying to fight naturally, but it's hard not to be cynical about Disney because Disney is a cynical company. That's the issue here. So when filmmakers go to work for them and they act like they're not contributing to that cynicism, and the downfall of modern film. Then it's sort of like, and I get he might be doing this so he can fund his own stuff because he probably is having a hard time getting movies made. So he's like, hey, if I go make the shitty Lion King prequel, I can go make some art films about cops shooting people. I get it. But
I've been there.
yeah, we've all been there. I've been wanting to make a George Floyd movie. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. There's got to be a point that people have to start saying no. That's what I'm saying. No, none of these people want to say no. Nobody doesn't want to like take the check or just say like, no, I'm not doing that shitty franchise film, or just and then be more critical, because the audiences are clearly feeling that way and saying it, and people online. So I just kind of wish the filmmakers in Hollywood would also turn on some of these projects and companies, because they talk about the strikes and how they want to make more original movies. But then by doing this, you're kind of betraying that philosophy or this fight for cinema that we're in right now.
Very much so. And it shows also in the comments section and in the people are saying. Oh, no, actually, they turned off the comments section. All right, well, the like to dislike ratio is pretty significant. It's about 1/4 of the people liked it and 3/4 of them didn't for the Lion King, the Mufasa trailer.
That's the
So
thing.
you're right.
That's the thing. And go back and look at, I guarantee you, I don't remember, but I guarantee you when that first Lion King trailer came out, the Jon Favreau one, it was probably overwhelming likes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure everyone was hyped about it because that's when we still were like brainwashed by the cult of Disney and the media selling us these things. And now you're starting to see it where like they're like, even Kevin Feige, that quote where he's like, you can tell everybody with, with the brain can see the last few Marvel films haven't been right. And Bob Iger's having all these meetings and talking about how we're going to change things. And I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I just don't. I don't believe them. I think it's like I think we're past that point. Like, how many times do you get fucked in the ass before you're like, maybe I shouldn't trust this guy? Maybe he's going to do that again.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what Disney does to counter this. We might cover it at some point. There was the Deadline article about the 10 blockbusters that made the most net profit this year. And they had on they had a special category that Disney had like the 4 biggest money losers of last year.
Oh, that brings such joy to my heart.
That was the thing, like how bad the Marvels did, the Little Mermaid, like all
Wish.
these movies. Wish, all these movies lost money. Disney lost like $1 billion across all this stuff.
Did you hear what Kevin Feige said the other day? He said, I think it's good that Marvel's back to being the underdog, the way we once were. It'll help us in the future. I'm like,
Sounds like
hey,
a big
dude.
old pile of coke.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's some cope.
That's what everyone always says when they're failing. It's like LeBron right now in basketball being 39, and everyone's like, he's going to win another championship. He's LeBron. And he's like, yeah, it's like, I think it's over, guys. Like, I think I think, I don't think you can get the audience back, because that's a lot of the argument I see online too, is like the Fall Guy, but we'll talk about that separately. But, some movies aren't doing well, and people are like, well, hey, you have to go support these movies, and then these things are happening. And I'm like, I don't think you guys get this. I don't think you guys get that you've lost the audience, you've lost the base. Like, because some studios had bombs too, but it feels like the Disney films specifically are like being targeted and have lost their audience, because it's like they don't even have the casuals anymore. Like
they're the poster child. They're the poster child for a soulless corporation.
I would say it goes back to Haunted Mansion. They release a haunted house movie in July. Like, that's where their head at. Like, where their head is business wise.
Yeah, and a lot of the stories have been that this is all Bob Chapek's doing, which I think is a cope. That somehow it's like when a new president comes in and he's bad, and they're like, oh, it was because of the last president.
Well, it's like all the projects he's greenlit, I don't even think they've come to fruition yet, have they? All the stuff that's failing was when Bob was still there, and he
the
checked
Fox
all
acquisition.
Yeah,
I don't know if Bob Iger escapes any criticisms. The Fox acquisition was definitely a horrible decision in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
Like, except getting Avatar, they've done nothing with that, and they paid $71 billion.
They're finally doing Deadpool. They're really banking on that movie.
Yeah, and X-Men and Fantastic Four, and I just don't think the audience is there. I do think Deadpool 3 is going to disappoint. I'm not saying it won't do well, but I don't think it's going to do what they
It's
think.
expected. Yeah.
They're thinking $1 billion. That's what when they were greenlighting that, that's what they were thinking. And we're at a point now, if the movie makes $700 million, we're like, hey, it did well. Good job. But to wrap this up, I just want to say I'm holding Barry Jenkins accountable. He's not getting a pass. I know a lot of people love his work and all that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, dude, like, if you really want to go against the man and the system and all that stuff, and then you just sign on to something like this, and who knows, it might be a good movie. I doubt it, but it might be. But even if it is, it's like you're feeding that soullessness, you're feeding the studio system, and it's at this point, it's not benefiting anybody for us to get a prequel to a remake of an animated movie that we all liked when we were kids. That's the problem.
It's ironic that the black man doesn't get a pass.
Yeah, I can say it officially. I'm not giving him the pass. I'm taking it away from. You don't get it. You're in director's jail now. Sorry. You can go in there with Damien Chazelle.
Oh.
I know. Your boy's in there. Your boy's in there looking out the bars and like, Paul Thomas Anderson, can I get some of that money that you get from that billionaire? No, sorry, dude. Yeah. I can't share.
I can't share.
It's just for me to make my little personal projects that nobody sees.
PTA's just dressed as a pimp.
He just has blue eyes, the spice.
Yeah. You got Maya Rudolph as like
Paul?
his princess. It's like his princess. Yeah.
Yeah, Paul. I mean,
Paul. Yeah.
It all makes sense, but I don't know. It says the trailer was shitty. The movie looks bad. I think these live action Disney remakes, because if it was just one thing, if the MCU was just declining, that would make sense. They made too many of them. But the fact their animated movies aren't doing well, Pixar movies aren't doing well, and now their live action remakes of their animated films aren't doing well. There's a pattern here. And I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea. And my main thing is just him responding. What ticked me off was the response of like using the original film to try to scapegoat this idea of like, why would you work for this company that makes garbage like this? And it made me like Barry Jenkins a lot less. I always kind of liked him, stuff I saw with him, and I'm like, what a cop out to fucking say that. It's such a corporate fucking answer. It's like the answer you get from your CEO at a company.
Well, I mean, you saw what happened to the guy over at Sony when it came to what is it? Fall Divers. What's it called? Hell Divers.
Fall Divers yeah. Sounds badass.
It does. But the community manager. The community manager. He was like, go, fucking destroy it on Steam. Like in the criticism section, and then he gets fired. When they said, okay, yeah, guys, we're not going to make a PSN account. You don't have to do that. So, I mean, Barry Jenkins, he's trying to hold on to that cash and not get fired. Which, again, goes back to your point. He's selling out.
Yeah. Well, we can't call people out for selling out anymore. I noticed that when you do that, everyone's like, they're anti-capitalist, but then they support a capitalist decision. Just be consistent is all I'm asking. Either you're pro-capitalism and the free market competition, or you're against it holistically.
Mm-hmm.
But they try to play it both ways. And that's why a lot of movies are suffering right now, and I think there's a disconnect because they're treating movies like politics. It's political language.